Okay, so in our background we have our background colour applied, but we also have another option, which is to fade our background out as the user scrolls down the page. Now that would actually work because our page isn't actually that long, so the user will probably manually scroll and won't be jumping all over the place with the navbar. But another option is to add some scripts in so the navbar disappears as the user scrolls down the page, so it effectively gets it out of the way. So before we start this, I'll just replace what we did in the previous lecture. There we go. So to add our fading navigation to our page, we need to head to the bottom of our index page where all our other scripts have been applied. Then what we need to do is add in our script tags. Now this can get fairly complicated, so I'm going to add this in and not expect you to fully understand what's going on because this isn't a Java course. It will take a long time to go through every single option. But it's a nice option to have if you're going to develop Bootstrap templates, and it gives you a little head start or an edge over another developer if you need it. But first we need to add in our function. And then we add in our jQuery. Then we need to add in our selector, which is the document. Then we want the action to be loaded straight away, so we add in ready, and then we add our function. Now the first thing we need to do is show our navbar as soon as the page is loaded. So we access our navbar class, and then we add the show class. Then we need to fade our navbar out, so we again access our function, then we add in our window and the scroll, and then our function. Now we need to set the rules. So if this scroll top is greater than 300, so this sets the value or distance from the top of the screen that the user needs to scroll before the rules are actually activated. Then we add in our navbar class again to fade out. So this tells the navbar to fade out if the user scrolls past the value stated here. Then we add in our else statement, which is navbar and fade in. So fade it in if the user is under the value. So if we just make sure that's all closed off, and if we save that off and refresh our page, we should see that when we hit our mark within the jQuery, our navbar fades out. Now personally I much prefer this as it's a nice effect, and like I said, as the page isn't that long, it doesn't affect the user by not having a navbar on the page when they are viewing it. All the links still work fine and the navbar fades out nicely. Now you can actually use this code on your page or any future pages as it is linked to the Bootstrap navbar, so you could use the exact same code. But obviously it's best if you understand how it works and learn a bit of jQuery or Java in the future. Now as I said, that's quite advanced, so don't worry too much if you don't fully understand it. I would recommend going through a jQuery course at some point, and I'll attach this code into the lecture and you should be able to copy and paste it into your file if you want to use it, as it just accesses the default navbar, so it should work with no problems. So we've had a look at a couple of options there for the navbar. I'll let you decide which one you prefer or go with, but I'll leave this as it is from now on.